Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I'm going to get us started. So my name is Cheryl Ney, and I think I forgot to introduce myself last week on the call. So that now you guys know who I am, but I think most of you know who I am. But tonight is our last team call of 2020. And I am going to be sharing with you we're going to talk about goals. We're going to talk about dreams. We're going to talk about visions. And I know those are really, really big things. And some of you, I really love a fresh start, a clean slate, a new month, a new year, especially. And so some of you might be the same way. Some of you might be just already going into 2021 with some big goals, big dreams on your hearts. But then there's others that might just be like, I always set goals and I don't make them, or I always make New Year's resolutions and they don't, I give up after a week. So sometimes we have just kind of a bad taste in our mouth about that kind of stuff. And I totally, totally understand that. Hopefully tonight you will just get a little bit of just something new, a new, fresh look on how to set some goals and actually achieve those goals. So I'm excited to share with you not only something that none of this is necessarily, it's my spin on things that I have read from a book or I've listened to from a podcast, and I can share those things with you if you want to dig deeper into what I share with you tonight. But I've kind of collaborated some things and put into practice. So I just want to start off with saying that I've actually done the work that I'm teaching you guys tonight, and it does work. So just to kind of get us started in that note, that I'm just excited to share with you something that I have found to be successful and plan on keeping that going. So we're going to talk first about just what does it look like to set your intention for the new year. So why would we even want to do that? Why do we want to set our intention for the new year? Well, first of all, we've been given the new year, right? I say every day that, God gives us when we wake up in the morning is a day that he has a plan for us to do. Same thing with this new year. We've been given this new year. We've been given a place to go in that new year. So Proverbs 29:18, you guys probably are familiar with this. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So really, if we don't have a vision and we don't have intention, we're really probably just wasting our time and our talents each day. We're really probably just marching around in circles. We're settling for complacency. We might even be stuck in that complacency. So my question is for you, not really why, but why not? Because if you're not walking through your days with purpose and intention, then you're kind of stuck, right? But do you know what to do? So that next question is what? Sometimes, and I've definitely found myself here, I get stuck in the planning part of it. Just, making the plan and just getting in that planning stage and just staying there. Or sometimes maybe you have started working on a goal, but then you get off track. And really what happens is you haven't changed your mindset enough about doing the thing that you set out to do. So you're still doing, you haven't reached that goal. So I want to invite you to maybe invite God into that. Pray about what is God calling you towards in this new year? What are the steps that he's calling you to do? And we're going to get more into that later with actually setting goals. But let's look at 3 things just right off the start here that I want you to remember. And I really felt like that these are good reminders for anything, for anybody. So the first one is you don't have to do everything right to move ahead. A lot of times we get stuck in that perfection piece. You also don't have to know everything to know something. Each of you has value and knows something. And I said before we even started this call tonight that we are in a community that we just share. And so you don't have to know everything to get started or to move forward. And then also, I love this, 3 steps forward and 1 step back is still 2 steps forward. So please remember that as you keep, as you look at 2021, maybe you do some reflection where you're at with 2020. If you're not where you want to be, you're still 2 steps forward than where you probably started this year? Okay, so we're going to start talking about dreams. So a dream always starts with a question, and the question is always some form of what if. So for example, what if I tried to build this business? What if God put this on my heart for a reason? What if I could add some income to our bank account? What if my friend's health could improve? So whatever that what if is really your potential begging you to be braver than your fears. Because when we are braver than our fears is when we actually start to get into action. So that what if, that question that keeps gnawing at you, is there for a reason. It serves as a guidepost. It tells us where to focus. And if we live in pursuit of answering this question, that effect on the world around us is going to be astounding. That potential resides in each and every single one of us. And it's really a gift from our Creator. And what we do with that is our gift to the world. And the world needs each of us. It needs you. It needs your energy. It needs you to show up for your life and take hold of that potential, that thing that keeps grabbing at you. The world needs your ideas. It needs your love, your care, your passion. The world needs to be able to celebrate your success, to watch you rise up after you fall down from failures. The world needs to see your courage. They need to see your what if. They need to hear about your what if. And they need you to become who you were meant to be. So be thinking about what that what if is for you. And when we talk about dreams, we tend to, those of us who are dreamers, those of us who are really passionate about growth, it's really hard to choose one dream. We're going to be talking about choosing one dream and going all in, and really focusing on one goal at a time, which is really hard to do, I know. So stay with me and I'll explain this, and then we're going to put it into action. So we always, a lot of us want to do many, many things. We have many dreams, many different areas of things in our life that we want to do. But even if all of those dreams or those things that we want to do, even if they all still connect in some way, it would still not be effective to go after all of those dreams. If it were, then it would have worked already, because that's what we've been trying to do forever, right? So if we surround our one single greatest dream with a bunch of other great ideas, because really we have a lot of great ideas, but we really just have one dream. If we surround that with a bunch of great ideas, then it really does, it ruins that focus. It doesn't give us that focus. So when you think about picking only one thing to go after and to go all in on, I want you to think about this. What is the thing that you greatly desire? What is the thing that you think about all the time? What is the thing that you imagine what it would be like regularly? What is it? What is that one thing that when you think about it, your heart beats faster, your palms get sweaty? What is that one thing? What is that one dream? If you could choose one thing to work on for the next decade, what would it be? If you could choose only one thing to be successful at, what would it be? So the reason that we're going to pick one is when you pick one, there is no plan B. There is no second thing. So if you look at the pictures that I posted on the side of here, there's a picture of an island. Maybe you guys have heard this before. If you want to take the island, you burn the boats. If you want to actually achieve that one dream, you can only pursue one dream at a time. If you completely go in on one single dream, when you achieve that one dream, then you can move on to the next dream. And again, I know that some of you are like, oh, but there's so many things I want to do. But remember, what we've been doing hasn't maybe worked for us in the past. So this is a new way of thinking about doing it. A lot of times in the past, we have all, and I myself included, have approached goal setting with kind of like being at a buffet, where you want to change everything just a little bit at a time. But to really be effective as possible, we have to stay focused on that one thing. And I love this quote too: when everything is important, nothing is important. So a goal, the bottom picture, the boats in the harbor, a goal is like a harbor. When the tide rises in the harbor, all the boats rise. Amazing things really do happen when you grow in one area, other areas start to improve along with it. So even though you're only focused on one thing, other areas in your life are going to start to improve. If you drop a handful of pebbles in a lake, that water will move just a little bit. But if you drop a boulder into a lake and you put all of that energy in that one area, the impact is incredible. That ripple effect of that choice spreads out in all directions. So if we want to grow in multiple areas, we definitely can, but we just want focusing one area at a time. Because once you have achieved the success in that area, that's going to become a habit in your life. And then you can focus on the next thing. So how do we do this? We're going to implement this and put this into action. So the 10-10-1 is the method of doing this. So you think about 10 years. You think about, who do you want to be in the next 10 years? And we're going to do that together in just a minute. And then you're going to pick 10 dreams. What are the 10 dreams that would make that a reality for you? And then we're going to focus one goal at a time. Which of those 10 dreams are you going to turn into a goal to focus on next? So thinking about, who do you want to be in those 10 years? This is where I need some audience participation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second here, or actually maybe I can just do this. No, I'm going to stop share. Okay. Okay. If I can get you guys to just close your eyes while I read something to you, just kind of play along with this mindfulness activity here, and just really dream big. So just open your minds, but close your eyes and just focus on this, and then have your piece of paper ready, because everything that you're going to think about, you're going to write down. Okay. All right. So I want you guys to imagine the very best version of yourself. Imagine that a decade of time has gone by and you are living your best possible ideal for yourself in your life. You are dreaming big. Don't put any restrictions on this. Don't overthink it. Just allow yourself to envision the most magnificent possible future version of yourself. A decade in the future, what is that very best version of yourself doing? What do you look like? How do you go about your day? How do you speak to people that you love? How are you loved in return? What kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of car do you drive? Are you a great cook? Do you love to read? Do you love to run? Get as specific as you possibly can. Where do you go on vacation? What's your favorite restaurant to eat at now that your life is different? What kind of food do you consume? What does it feel like to go throughout your day? Are you optimistic? Are you encouraging to others? After a decade of working on yourself and growing, how much joy is there in your life? Who's in your life? What does your week look like? How do you treat people? How do they treat you? Just let your dreams run absolutely wild. Are you happy? Are you energetic? Are you driven? Do you feel ambitious? What is your relationship like with your family? Do you own a home? What does it look like? Do you have kids? Do you have a family? Are you married? What is the best of the best? Now go bigger. What is a bigger version of the best version of you? Living every day in the best state that you know how to be. What do you do for work? What is the highest value that your future self holds? Is it family? Is it loyalty? Is it growth? Be as specific as you can be. Now, without a second of judgment or overthinking it, I want you to write down everything that you just thought of as fast as you can. I don't want you to forget any of it. And I want that future version of you to be seared inside your brain. And I'm going to give you guys like 3 minutes. Okay, sadly, I'm going to have to continue on here, but you guys are still writing, so many of you, and I just love that. I love that. I was like getting choked up reading that to you guys because I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for you just to put this in action and to just to dream big. I'm just so excited to dream big with you guys. So that what you have on that piece of paper, that is your future self, the best version of you that you see yourself being in the next 10 years. And this exercise really paints a clear picture in your mind of a lot of different really great things that your future self can do and be. So guess what? This right here, this piece of paper is what you're going to put on a vision board for 2021. You are going to find pictures that represent those things, that future self, what you want to do, what you want to be, who you want to be, things that you, places you want to go. That's what you're going to put on your vision board. So that's your first step, is after, over maybe the rest of this week, over the weekend, creating that vision board. So you have that really clear. I know some of us have our vision board, a picture of it on our phones, or I have mine on my screensaver of my laptop because I feel like I stare at that a lot. So, so just to always have it in front of you is very good, just to have that clear in your head. So now we're going to take that all of that you see yourself in 10 years, and we're going to turn that into the very next part. And this is, we're going to turn this into our 10 dreams. Let me close that so you guys can see that. Okay. So 10 dreams. I know we talked about one. We're going to get there. We take 10 years and then we take 10 dreams, and we're going to turn, we're going to take those 10 years that we just envisioned, and we're going to turn those 10 years into 10 dreams. So if these 10 dreams came true, then they would make your vision a reality. So you're choosing 10 dreams that, if they were to come true, would make that future self real. So when you think about these things, be specific. So if your future self was financially free, then that dream might sound something like, I make a 6-figure income, or I am debt free. If your future self was happy and energetic, in shape, maybe some of your dreams would be about running a marathon, or learning how to cook vegan or something like that. So thinking about what are the steps that are going to take you to get that dream a reality. Then the next step is we're going to write these 10 dreams in a notebook every single day. Repetition gets in your head, it gets in your heart, and it really shows you where your focus needs to be. And it reminds you every day when you write that down, it reminds you every day who you want to be and what that future self is going to be. The second part is to write them as if they've already happened. So thinking about your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind focuses on what you give it. If you write down something like, I'm going to make $1 million. Well, immediately your brain focuses on the going to part and not the actual goal. So what it does in your brain is it files it as everything else that you've said, I'm going to do. And it really has given it no direction to do those things. Instead, if you said, I have $1 million in the bank, that's specific. It's giving your brain an outcome. It's giving your brain a direction to head. That present tense means that your subconscious starts to focus on how to make that actually happen right now. So some things on your list might be things that you want to achieve, but they actually can also be things that you accomplish every day. For example, you might say something like, I am an exceptional wife. Now, if you say that, that means that you actually have to put some action behind it, right? So it will remind you who you are, because a lot of us are exceptional wives, right? And who you want to be. So maybe you want to put some action behind being that exceptional wife to your husband. It prompts you to do that action.
I'm going to struggle with that one.
I'm sorry, Scott. And then also think about that's okay. Think about the words. So when I said exceptional, Notice how I didn't say good or great. I said exceptional. So that reminds you daily about who you want to be, but really also in order to get there, we have to actually do those actions with that focus. Okay, so now we've done 10 years, we've done 10 dreams. We're going to focus on one goal. So thinking about how your dream is that ideal, that version of yourself, it becomes a goal when you actually begin to pursue it. So one thing at a time. What is one goal, one thing that you can do that will get you closer to the 10 years from now version of yourself the fastest? So what's like the first step? What's the very first thing? What is one goal that you can work on this year? Now, I know a lot of us probably say, oh, I have a lot of goals I want to work on, but we're going to focus on one thing at a time. Remember that focus, clarity is huge. So specific, what are the specifics? How can you get very specific about that one goal? Maybe your goal is to lose weight, but if you say, I want to lose weight versus I want to lose 30 pounds. But remember, we said we're going to write it as if it already happened.
I have lost 50 pounds.
That's awesome. So maybe that's not your goal. Maybe you've got to, maybe you are focused on something else. Maybe it's, I want to do better in my finances, but you could get more specific by saying, I want to save $5,000. So instead of like, again, when I said you write it as if it already happened and say, instead of saying, I want to save $5,000, you could say, I have $5,000 saved in the bank. Hopefully that kind of gives you guys a little bit more clarity behind that. So then how will you measure your progress? You need to be able to see if you are making progress and getting closer. Now, a lot of times I have heard that, put a time frame around it. And I do agree with that somewhat, but if it's going to trip you up, if it's going to make you feel like if I don't do it, then I'm not a success, then we don't really need a time frame around that. You just need, but maybe you do need to say by, in 3 months or by the end of this year, something like that. But if you don't reach that, reset it, keep at it. And we're not looking for, the fast goals. We're looking for actually achieving those goals. And then second to last thing here is the why behind it. So you have to know why you want this or you will never change. You have to know what to focus on or you will never make progress. And our why that we want to achieve that goal has to be bigger than the times that you say, I can't, or I don't want to, or it's too hard, or I'm too tired. We have to want that so badly, and we have to know why we want it so badly, because that why is going to keep you going. Even if you don't even know how you're going to get there, you just know that that why is bigger than that. Why does this goal matter to you? You have to know why you want to keep pursuing that. A lot of times, and this has been me before too, if you've started, stop, start, stop, start, stop, and you can't figure out why you can't, just continue on or make it happen, it's because that why is not strong enough. So there's some exercises that you can do to actually get to the why. You keep asking why. So you might answer that, and then why does that matter? Why does that matter? Why does that matter? And you just keep digging and digging until you really get to the reason, the really, really deep reason on why you want to achieve that goal. Okay, so lastly, commitment. So commitment are those little promises that you make to yourself and maybe to others. And sometimes that does keep us going. But I love this quote, that commitment is staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the feeling in which you said it has left you. Because we do mess up, we do get sidetracked, we do get distracted, but really instead of quitting, that's an invitation to learn and to get better. And to ask yourself, what is the next thing? What is the next right thing I can do towards this? What is the next step I can take? Because it is going to be hard. And we always want to take the easy way out if we get a chance. But we actually don't even have to know the whole plan. We know our big dream. We know those 10 dreams that we're going to focus on. We know that one goal. But we just have to take the next step to get there. And sometimes if we look too far ahead, then we get stuck in that. And so just take that next step, the next step. Don't be discouraged about the length of the journey, how long it is, how hard it is. We're just going to practice those small steps, one goal at a time. And after you reach that goal, then you can move on to the next goal. And I hope that this helps you guys just have a whole lot of success with that this year, rather than just making a whole lot of goals and then not, not achieving those goals. And then by the end of the year, maybe you've had 2 or 3 or 4 or more things that you've focused on and been able to achieve. So I'm so excited that I got to share this with you guys tonight. I have been really just digging into this and seeing a lot of success, and I'm happy to answer questions, share my resources with you, all of those things. So I can stay on for questions if you guys have any.
Thank you, Cheryl. That was very helpful.
This was awesome, Cheryl. Thank you so much.
You guys are welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Do you have a vision board, and where do you keep yours?
I do. It's actually, it's right here. You guys can see
On your
it. Hold on.
screen?
Yeah, it's right here. It's right by my prayer where I do my quiet time in the morning, but then I also have it on my computer screen. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks, Cheryl.
you're welcome, Kathy.
That
Well
was
done.
awesome.
Helpful, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad it was helpful, you guys.
It was very helpful. I like the whole part about just focusing on one goal at a time.
I know, don't we teach our customers that one simple change at a time, right? It's the same thing.
Yes, what an awesome last Monday night Zoom of the year.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Next one will be a new year. Let's hope a
Yay.
better year.
Thank you so much for helping us to get a head start on our vision for
Yes.
2020.
I would love to see everyone's vision boards too when you guys get those. So
Yeah, that
I
would be
have
awesome.
mine.
Gotta update it now, Mom.
And remember
I've
that
updated
everything
it
starts
already
with a
twice.
positive statement. A lot of people keep saying, how hard the year's been or how challenging the year's been.